All right. Oh my God. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna blast too much in anybody's ears anymore, but hello and welcome to week 2, right? Yeah, week 2. That means we get to ramp up the intensity. Everybody's gonna love me so much on Thursday. Other than that, hope everybody's feeling okay. Glad to see you're all back. I didn't scare anybody off too badly, but today's still that Tuesday, so we're going to be focusing more on that strength component of this class, and then Thursday we'll come back and we'll do more of the flexibility, the stretching, just in case we're all sore later on. But today's focus, we're focusing more on core and glutes. Remember, core is our stabilizers, so we're using them throughout the entirety of the class. In addition to the last 10 minutes, we're also going to do specific core exercises. Other than that, it's usually that 45-minute flow. We'll be going through a bunch of different things. We'll be up, we'll be down, we'll be still focusing on all of our mobility movements, making sure we're trying to engage the muscles that we actually want to work. I know it's really easy to escape off in that little pain cave that you might have if you're not trying to kind of focus on the specific muscle groups. Don't do that. Try to really focus and hone in on what muscle are you using at the moment. It protects us from any injuries, and it helps us keep muscle balance on both left and right side. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and get started. So feel free to meet me in child's pose, knees wide-ish on the mat. If you have a watch, feel free to start it. We're just going to walk our hands forward, trying to get that hip mobility in. If you'd like, feel free to rock side to side, but from here, we're really just focusing on sinking our chest into the floor, getting a nice stretch through our back, taking this time to bring awareness into all 4 corners of our body. Might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, feeling your forearms pressed into the mat as you slowly try to sink further and further to the floor. Trying to keep our hips a little bit lifted. Might try box breathing here, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat, using this time to take a full brain scan, becoming aware of the body as a whole before we begin today's class, bracing yourself for today's workout, allowing yourself to relax, taking another deep breath in. And on that exhale, we're lifting all the way up into that tabletop position. Remember, shoulders stacked over wrists, hips stacked over knees. From here, we're just going to go straight into those cat-cows, lifting the chest up on that inhale, looking all the way at the ceiling. And on your exhale, squeezing the core, bringing hips to ribs. Should feel like a string's attached to your belly button and somebody's pulling it up. Deep breath in, expanding through the chest. Lifting chin to ceiling. Exhale, pushing through the heels of your palms, arching that back up. Squeeze through the core. Deep breath in. Acknowledging all of the major muscle groups here right now. Pushing through the shoulders, lifting through the core, squeezing through the traps. Go ahead and do one more big deep breath in. Expand through the belly. Exhale, squeezing the core one last time, really lifting, pinching ribs to hips. And take a few spine circles. Let yourself fully relax. Any direction, you have the freedom of movement here. Letting yourself breathe, letting yourself stretch for a few more. Deep breath in. This next flow, I'm going to start with the modification for anybody who might need that. We're just going to push back, child's pose, extend tabletop. Push back, child's pose, still engaging the shoulders here. And if you feel like you've got that down, feel free to lift into that hover tabletop position, kneeling off the mat. Push back, child's pose. Lift up, down dog. Bringing yourself forward, high tabletop. Push back, hovering, child's pose. Lift up, down dog. High plank, hover tabletop. Getting all that fluidity through your shoulders, still squeezing through the core. Slight bend in the elbows, keeping that pressure off your joints. Breathing through each movement. Make your breath work for you. Do about 2 more. Last one, coming back into that high plank. Still squeezing, acknowledging all of the muscle groups. And from here, we're going to walk our feet to our hands after you get to that down dog position, straight into your forward fold. If you need a little extra support here, feel free to grab those blocks. Brace your hands on the top in the highest setting, medium setting, or no setting. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Letting your spine fully release and lengthen. Before we head off into our next flow here, taking a deep breath in, rolling the spine all the way up to standing, reaching those fingertips to the ceiling, slight bend. Stretching through both left and right side body, feeling that stretch through the shoulders to the hips. Deep breath in, we're going to slowly sink our hips down, find that chair pose, activate through the quads. Bring our elbows in, find that 90, pinch that pencil between your scapula. Exhale, folding forward, find that forward fold. Take a deep inhale in, hinging at the hips, keep that flat back, you don't want to round it. Chest parallel to the floor. We're going to reach our arms up, make that Y, squeeze the scapula together again. Exhale all the way back down, forward fold. We're going to do that flow a couple more times. Feel free to stay with me or do this at your own pace. Rolling that spine up, coming all the way to standing reach. Inhale, look for that length, find those side bends. Sinking low into that chair pose, activating the quads and the glutes. Bringing those elbows in, pinch your scapula together. Folding over your knees, forward fold. Hinging at the hips, flat back, half lift. Lifting your arms up, find that Y, squeeze the shoulder blades again. Lowering all the way back down. Let's go ahead and do one more, waking up the body, slowly rolling the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Reach over your head, really look for that length, find that stretch. Exhale, sitting in that chair pose, activate the quads, squeeze the glutes. Bring elbows to 90, pinch the pencil, forward fold over. Another deep breath in, hinging at the hips, squeeze the glutes, lift with your back. Making that Y, squeeze your scapula together. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Let your spine release, lengthen, take another deep breath in. Slight bend in the knees. Go ahead and place your hands all the way down to the floor, stepping back. Both feet, find that high plank. Slight bend in the elbows, keeping your palms beneath your shoulders. Go ahead and lower down to your knees. Taking another deep breath in. Exhale, we're lowering down, keeping the elbows tight to your sides. Belly on the floor. Push up through the heels of your palms. Find that baby cobra. Feeling the extension of your lower back. Squeeze. Exhale, lowering all the way back down. We're going to brace on our fingertips. From here, we're going to do slight push-ups, but in a modified way. Go ahead and push yourself up. Feel this through your arms, looking over one shoulder, and lower back down. Pushing through your arms again, go ahead and lift. Look over the other shoulder, and lower back down. Doing this a couple more times, waking up the body. Lift, look, lower. Trying to increase how far you're looking every time if you can. Improving that mobility. Couple more times. Remembering to breathe. Let your breath work for you. Last one, go ahead and lower down. Deep breath in. We're going to push up all the way, tabletop position. Using that breath. Go ahead and curl your toes underneath of you, pushing through the heels of your palms. Lift the hips high in the air. Find that downward dog. Pedaling out your feet, waking up the backs of your legs. Still remembering to breathe. Remember, we're pushing through our back and our shoulders here, keeping that pressure off of your wrist joints. Slight bend in the elbows. Another deep breath in. Exhale, walking our hands to our feet, forward fold. Lengthening through the spine. Before we get to our next little flow. Another deep breath in. Go ahead and roll all the way up to standing. We're going to step our feet to the outsides of our mat. Hands in mountain pose position, palms facing in front of you. Squatting down, sinking the hips, lifting the hands overhead. Engage the quads and the glutes. Exhale, coming all the way back up, using that breath to lift you. Lowering back down. Paying attention to the muscles. Make sure we're engaging them slow and in control. Waking them up. Use that breath. Doing this at a pace that's comfortable for you. Acknowledging your own movement. Feel free to pick up the pace if you want to increase that intensity a little bit. Still using that breath. Last one. This time we're going to sink. We're going to stay in that squat position, but we're going to pulse, alternating our calf raises. Don't worry, we'll build on it. Feeling a slight burn through the quads. Still keeping them engaged. Core is activated the whole time. If you'd like to increase the intensity and you are willing, feel free to pull your arms back and make that 90. Adding a little bit of a back component to this. Deep breaths in. Almost done. 2 more. Last one, we're going to hold here and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way back in standing. Go ahead and give a good side bend. Feel free to walk your feet back to center. We're going to take our left foot, put that knee in the pit of your right knee, and take that little bend. If this is difficult for you, just take those normal side bends. Let your body relax. Go back to controlling that breathing. Another deep breath in, coming back to standing. Same thing for the other side. Right knee in the back of your left. Take that little bend to the left side. Giving yourself a second to catch your breath. Another deep breath in. Exhale, reaching back up to center. Forward fold, diving over our knees. Allowing yourself to hang here for a second. When you're ready, feel free to walk your hands to the top of your mat. Find that high plank position. Slowly lowering your knees down to the mat tabletop. This next flow will also be starting with the modification. Using our left leg, we're going to lift it up, bring to center, extend out, bring to center, squeeze that core, still pushing through our shoulders and our back. Keep that pressure off your wrist joints, but activating that left glute. If you'd like to increase the intensity here, go ahead and lift up into that hover position. We're sending that leg all the way back, three-legged dog, bringing it in. Send the leg back and bring it in. Remember, we're engaging that left glute, still keeping the back active, still engaging the core. Using your breath, find that length. Exhale on that squeeze. 2 more. And last one, we're keeping our knee close to our chest, but we're going to pulse it to either elbow. Engaging both left and right side of the core now. 2 more. Last one. Send that leg back and step to the outside of your left hand. Slowly lowering that right knee down to your mat. We're just going to hang here for a little bit. Give your hips a nice stretch. Give your arms a break. Use that breath, slowly sink further into the mat. Almost done. If you'd like to increase the intensity here, feel free to lift that right foot up and reach back. A little bit deeper of a stretch for your right quad. Completely optional. Staying within your own comfort zone here. Another deep breath in. Go ahead and let go. We're going to bring our right palm to the mat. Lifting up with our left. Find length through your fingertips. Extend. Stretch through your upper back. And when you're ready, we're threading the needle all the way through, reaching for that right knee. Lifting left hand up. Extend. And threading through. Reach for the opposite knee. Keep doing this at your own pace, making sure you're using your breath. Still stretching through the hips. Trying to expand that mobility through your shoulder and your upper back every time. Another deep breath in. Last one. Go ahead and place both palms on the mat. We're going to curl our right toes under and lift a little bit up. Find that lunge again. Pushing through left quad, left glute. We have a little lunge flow that we'll get to now. Go ahead and pulse down. Lift up, step, curtsy lunge, down. Step back to that lunge. Pulse down, but lift up, warrior 3. This is difficult for you. Feel free to grab those blocks, place them on either side of your left foot. Pulse down, curtsy, pulse down, reach for those blocks, lift that leg up. There's your modifier. If you're at home, feel free to grab a chair, grab a table, focusing on our balance here, squeezing that glute, keeping those muscles on the whole time, slow and in control. Still focusing on that quality over that quantity. Only 2 more. Last one. Staying lifted in that warrior 3. Go ahead and pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering all the way down, back onto your knee. Hands on either side of your foot. Go ahead and kick that left one back. Tabletop position. Taking those deep breaths, feel free to have a few spine circles. Roll your hips out before we get back into the other side. Now, remembering that modification, whenever you're ready, we're lifting that right knee up, squeeze, and kick back, squeeze, kick back, tabletop position, hands under your shoulders, hips stacked over your knees. If you'd like to increase the intensity, go ahead and get back into that hover position. Kick that leg back, 3-legged dog. Bring knee to chest. Still breathing. Using your own breath at a pace that's comfortable for you. Go ahead and do 2 more. Last one. We're going to keep that knee tucked into our chest, alternated elbow taps. Working both left and right side of those obliques. For 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and kick that leg back. And step to the outside of your right hand, lowering that left knee down. Go ahead and settle here. Let your hips adjust. Find yourself deep into the stretch. Remembering to breathe. Option to kick that left foot up and grab on. Might find that one side has better flexibility than the other. That's completely okay. Just remember to breathe. Slowly sinking further into the stretch. When you're ready, go ahead and let go if you were holding your foot. Placing that left palm on the mat. Reaching up with our right arm. Finding length through our fingertips, expanding through the back. Threading through, reach for that opposite knee. Extend up, reach, and thread. Again, at a pace that's comfortable for you, just make sure you're still breathing. Breathing's your body's way of knowing it's okay to relax. Therefore, stretch. Still keeping that knee stacked over your ankle. For a couple more. Last one, we're reaching up, but we're going to come all the way up, centering our hips. Go ahead and interlace your hands behind your back. Look for that stretch. If you can't interlace your fingers, just reach. Another deep breath in. Rolling out your neck, if that feels comfortable to you. Letting go on your next exhale, curling your left toes underneath of you, using your right glute and right quad to carry yourself up. If you have your blocks handy, feel free to grab them. If you're at home, grabbing a chair or a table, whatever works for you. We're going to go back into that lunge sequence, going down, find that pulse, knee stacked over your ankle, curtsy. Back down into that lunge, kicking up, warrior 3, and back down. Remembering to breathe. Squeeze through the glutes. Use that breath. Quality over quantity. Core should be activated this whole time. 2 more. Little bit of a burn through those legs. Last one. Kick that leg up, and we're gonna pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering that foot down, finding that forward fold. Stepping our feet to the outside of our mat. Holding here for another deep breath in. When you're ready, we're going to send those hips down, slowly lowering into that yogi squat. If this is difficult for you, feel free to place your hands in front of you until you slowly lower down to both heels, or place that block underneath of you and use that until you can get in the right position. Again, whatever is comfortable. Another deep breath here. Still keeping that chest lifted. Try not to round out your back. You're ready. Go ahead and place both hands in front of you. We're going to step back, either leg, back into that tabletop position. When you're ready, we're going to pivot on that right knee, kicking that left one out, kind of like a tripod, but with 2 legs. I don't know what that's called. We're going to bring both hands to our temples, fingertips to temples here, squeezing our core, lean to the left, slow in and control, still keeping the core squeezed. Set that right hand down on the ground, lift your left leg up, coming back, fingertips to temples, squeezing the core is still on, lowering that arm down. The challenge here is just trying to keep the same pace that you lift and you lower with. Keeping the core on, lift through that left glute. I'm going to do this one more time. Still keeping that core activated, still using that breath. We're going to end on the lower, keeping yourself propped up with your right hand. Leg is still lifted. Go ahead and take 3 mini circles forward, then 3 mini circles backward. Still remembering to breathe and pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering that leg all the way down. Lower to your hip. Go ahead and prop those feet up beside you. Lift your right arm over, finding that mermaid stretch. Stretching through the whole right side of your body, fingertips, shoulders, back, hips. Holding here for a nice deep breath in. Exhale, we're windmilling to the other side, lowering down to your forearm, reaching that left hand overhead. Still remembering to breathe. Find that length on that inhale. Reach a little bit further. Exhale, we're lowering both palms to the mat, twisting ourselves back into that tabletop position. We're not done yet. You're going to take another deep breath in when you finally get squared, shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. When you're ready, we're going to kick that left leg back for a donkey kick, lower back down. Kick back, lift through the left glute, still engaging through the core. Don't let yourself sink. Your core is still lifted, pelvic floor up and in. For about 2 more, activate those glutes. Last one, keeping it lifted, pulse for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, still lifted, straighten out that leg, and we're gonna do some arc taps, tapping on the inside, tapping to the outside. Both left and right. Trying to make sure there's a straight line from the top of your head to your hips, your glutes, to your toes when you get to the peak of that arc. Only a couple more. Last one. Go ahead and keep that foot lifted up, slowly lowering down, elbows tight to your sides, Pilates push-up. Feel free to add a pulse at the top if you're really feeling like you want a good burn today. If not, we're just pushing through those triceps, coming all the way up, still keeping those elbows bent. 2 more. Last one, lowering, keep that core engaged. And we're bringing that leg back down. That was fun. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, twisting on that left knee, kicking that right leg out, coming all the way up, fingertips to our temples, squeezing to the right, then slowly lowering down, propping ourselves up with that left hand, kicking that leg out. Coming all the way back up, same speed, keeping that core engaged. Remembering to breathe. Quality over quantity. Only about 2 more. Last one, still squeezing that core, still using that breath. Keeping that foot propped up, we're going to circle forward 3 times, circle back 3 times, and pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down to that hip, propping yourself up, reach that left arm overhead, mermaid stretch. Letting your body relax for a little bit. Catch your breath. Sink into your stretch. Take another deep breath in. We're windmilling over, right hand overhead, propping yourself up on your forearm. Feeling that stretch through your right side body now. Still reaching through your fingertips. Another deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and flip back into that tabletop position. Shoulders over the heels of your palms, hips over your knees. We're gonna kick that right leg back, find that donkey kick, and lower. Still bracing through the core, still using your glute to lift. Making sure you're breathing. Exhale, push up, inhale, lower. Trying to keep the same speed as you go up and down. For 2 more. Last one, keeping that leg lifted. We're gonna pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that leg up, extend it out. We're going to do those arc taps. Left and right. Trying to keep that straight line as you hit the top of your arc. Engage through the glutes. Lift through the core. Only 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and leave your foot up in the air at the top of your arc. We're going to lower down, find those push-ups. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale, lower. Exhale, push up. Core is still engaged. Glutes are still activated. Give me 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and lower that leg down. Crossing our legs, pushing back, find that child's pose. Give your back a nice stretch. Feel free to roll out those wrists if that feels good to you. Option to rock side to side if that feels comfortable. One more deep breath in. On your next exhale, we're coming up to sit on our glutes, rocking all the way back. Bringing our feet in front of us. Find that boat pose. Lifting our feet up. If you need that modification, feel free to roll onto your back, staying lifted through your forearms. Holding here, 10 more seconds. Keeping that chest lifted, engaging through the core, pelvic floor, up and in. When you're ready, we're going to add single taps, letting your toes tap to the ground. Your legs are the only thing moving. Keep that core engaged. When you're ready, go ahead and add that double tap. Both feet lower down, both feet lift. Again, keeping that core activated, chest lifted. Only a couple more. Last one. Go ahead and lower those feet, rolling all the way down to your back. I'm going to bring those legs up into a reverse tabletop position. Go ahead and bring your fingertips to your temples. We're in a crunch. And then extend our legs out. Bringing our knees back to reverse tabletop crunch. And extend out. Should be a little bit of a shake in your core. Make sure that there's no gap between your lower back and the mat. Taking those deep breaths. Only 2 more. Last one. Go ahead, keep those knees in reverse tabletop position, but you're going to bring your hands out like you're in boat pose again, and you're just going to extend one leg, alternating. But you're going to lift your hands overhead as you extend. Still keep that core engaged. We're almost done. Use that breath. And when you're ready, we're going to try extending both feet at the same time. Lifting arms overhead and bringing them back. Little bit of a shake, little bit of a burn. Taking breaks as needed. 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and give your knees a quick hug, little bit of a circle. Find a nice break for your core. When you're ready, we're going to lower our feet back down to the mat. Go ahead and tilt your pelvic floor up and in, pressing through the heels of your feet. We're going to lift all the way up into a glute bridge. Little bit of a stretch through your core. If you'd like to increase the intensity, go ahead and interlace your fingers behind your back, coming all the way up and onto your shoulders. Finding a nice stretch. Staying lifted through your glutes. Squeeze. One more deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and lower. Extend your feet all the way so that they're flat on the ground. When you're ready, we're going to bring our hands overhead and roll all the way up to a seated position. Inhale, coming up to seated. Exhale, forward in that stretch, and roll all the way back down. Inhale, lifting those arms. Find that stretch. Exhale, lifting back up. Inhale, reach for your toes. Exhale, seated, rolling all the way back down. One more time. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Feel that stretch. Go ahead and bring your hands behind you. 2 variations of this next movement. Go ahead and either lift into that reverse plank, or you can bring your feet closer to your glutes and lift into that reverse tabletop position. And we're just going to take a few taps, pushing through the triceps, squeeze through the core, lift through your glutes, whatever feels comfortable. Slow and in control. Only about 2 more. Feel the stretch. Last one, lift, hold, really stretching here, really squeezing, and lowering all the way back down, slowly rolling vertebra by vertebra back down to the mat. When you're ready, we're gonna kick our right foot up, meeting the outside of our ankle to the top of our left knee. If this stretch is good enough for you, feel free to stay here. If you'd like to increase the intensity, go ahead and grab the back of your left leg or your left shin, with the option to rock side to side if that feels comfortable. Another deep breath in. Trying to pull that leg a little bit closer to you. When you're ready, go ahead and send both hands to either side of your body, slowly letting your hips drop to the left, bottom of your right foot meeting the floor. Finding a nice twist through your spine, trying to keep both shoulders planted on the floor. Another deep breath in. Exhale, you might try twisting just a little bit deeper. When you're ready, go ahead and come back up to center. Unhook your right foot from your left, lifting your left, hooking it over your right. Feel free to stay here, but if you'd like, grabbing onto the back of your hamstring or your right shin. Option to rock side to side. Just gently stretching it out, remembering to keep your breath, letting your body know it's okay. When you're ready, sending both hands to either side of your body, gently rocking your hips to the right, still trying to keep both shoulders planted on the floor. Another deep breath in. And on your next exhale, coming back to center, unhooking your left foot from your right. Go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together, slowly letting your knees drop to either side of your body. One hand over your heart, the other over your stomach. We're going to meet here for our last few breaths of class today. Taking this time to bring awareness to all 4 corners of your body. Might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Feel the back of your head pressed into the mat. The rise and fall of your chest. You might try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. Slowly allowing yourself to sink further into the floor. Try taking a full brain scan here. Where is there tension? Where is there stress? Where are you sore? What feels good? Acknowledge that. Letting go of any tension or stress from outside of this class. Bringing awareness and setting intentions for the rest of your day moving on from this class. Fully allowing yourself to relax. That's going to bring us to the end of today's class. Thank you all so much for coming back for week 2. Look forward to seeing you all again on Thursday for a nice stretch. Remember to take care of yourself, get enough rest, make sure you're eating enough. I'd rather you eat more than too little because then you'll be too tired to come on Thursday and I'll miss you. But other than that, have a really good night, and I will see you on Thursday.